This is Sabbatical, a Mason 33 sloop that is being offered for sale in Long Beach, California. I've owned this boat since 2007 and have sailed her along the west coast of North America, as far north as Port Hardy in British Columbia, and as far south as Manzanillo, Mexico. I want to tell you a few things about this boat so you can decide whether you're interested in taking a closer look. This is a high-quality boat designed for long-distance cruising. It's a good boat to consider if you and your partner want to sail to Mexico with the option of continuing to South America or the Caribbean or Polynesia, or if you'd like to bash up the coast to San Francisco or British Columbia. This is a strong, sea-kindly boat with a bulletproof design that can cross oceans. But it's small enough to keep expenses low. It sails well in all conditions, but it's particularly impressive in heavy weather with great tracking. She can hold a course and cut through heavy seas while lighter boats are getting knocked off their headings and running for cover. There's a comfortable interior with an emphasis on lots of storage space, which you will appreciate if you decide to live aboard or take longer cruises. The boat was repowered in 2014 with a Yanmar 3YM30 engine, professionally installed by the largest Yanmar dealer in California. The engine has less than 300 hours and is in perfect condition. The standing rigging was all replaced in 2021. The starboard and port chain plates were replaced in 2019, and the running rigging has been updated continually and is mostly quite new. The bottom was painted in 2021. The hull was laid up with high-quality isophthalic resin. It's nearly an inch thick below the waterline, and in the 16 years I've owned the boat, the hull has never had a blister. A new full batten mainsail was added in 2021 with a custom stack pack. The mainsail is beautiful. It's easy to raise and reef and drop in any conditions. There's also a roller furling 145% Genoa with a relatively new Sunbrella sun cover. The Genoa is older, but it's in good condition. The boat also comes with an asymmetrical spinnaker and a sock, which is great for reaching or running downwind in light air. We added a bimini in 2022. It helps shade the back of the cockpit while the boat's underway. While at anchor, you can cover the cockpit completely with Sunbrella shades that extend forward from the bimini to a rod supported by the boom. The boat also comes with fittings for a pole mount for a Starlink dish, so you can have high-speed internet while you're anchored in paradise. We updated the solar panels in 2021. There are 200-watt panels that sit on a custom stainless steel frame over the Dodger, and there's a 170-watt flexible panel that rests on top of the bimini, so the solar charging capacity is 370 watts. A new isotherm hot water heater was added in 2020 with fittings for a cockpit shower, so you can take a hot shower in either the cockpit or inside the head. New cockpit cushions were added in 2021 with 2 seats at the corners of the stern pulpit. These seats are nice places to perch while the boat's underway. The boat comes with a full canvas cover. The full cover takes about 45 minutes to assemble, so we generally put it on only when we leave the boat for an extended period, but it's good protection. The boat also comes with smaller canvas covers just to shade the brightwork. If we leave the boat for shorter periods, we generally just put on the brightwork covers, which is a lot faster. If you use these covers regularly when you're not sailing the boat, you'll only need to update the varnish or the brightwork every 2 to 3 years. If you leave the boat exposed to the sun all the time, at least in Southern California, you'll need to recoat the varnish more like once every 6 to 9 months to keep it looking good. People who take these boats to the tropics sometimes paint over the teak, which reduces maintenance, but to me it just doesn't look as good. People are sometimes wary of teak decks, but there's nothing like teak underfoot in rough weather. It provides great traction for bare feet or for shoes in wet or dry conditions. It also has good insulating properties to keep out the heat and cold. The teak on this boat is in good condition for its age. There has been some wear, but there's plenty of wood left on the deck. It's sound as a bell. There's been no water penetration anywhere. With a little maintenance, replacing a few bungs and so on, this teak deck will easily last another couple of decades. The Mason 33 is not a boat for everyone. If all you want to do with your boat is have cocktails at the dock or sail near shore on nice days, you'd probably be better off with something like a Hunter or a Catalina or a Beneteau. You certainly can get a bigger boat for less money. But if you want a boat that's designed to handle longer passages in a wider range of conditions, the Mason's worth a look. We once had a friendly race from Mazatlan to La Paz, Mexico, with two larger boats, a Catalina and a Beneteau. At first, while the winds were light, the other boats gradually pulled ahead of us. But then the wind started building up to 30 knots and brought with it some nasty, steep-sided, short-period swells that knocked the other boats off their headings and caused their hulls to flex alarmingly. The other skippers decided to turn around and head back to Mazatlan. But aboard this boat, aboard Sabbatical, my wife and I reefed down, we balanced the sails, and we managed to plow ahead. Waves were actually breaking on the deck, but the boat held its course, and we made about 5 knots double reefed. No leaks, no flexing. We got to La Paz without any serious problems, 3 days ahead of our competitors in this little race. So the moral of this story is that the bigger boat is not always the faster boat, and is not necessarily the better boat to be aboard when the going gets rough. You can find more information about the Mason 33 in a very detailed review published by Practical Sailor magazine. If you Google Mason 33 Practical Sailor, you'll find the review online. It's also worth checking out some of the sailing blogs of folks who sailed this boat all over the world. A nice example is the log of sailing vessel Carina, another Mason 33, which you can find online. And there's a very knowledgeable Mason owners group that's active on Facebook and on a discussion list on Groups.io for more information.